Okay, yeah, please stand up. Okay, please hold the palm and follow me as usual. Okay, first bow to the Buddha. Okay, first prostration, you just bow. Okay, second prostration. Okay, third prostration. Okay, one bow to the Buddha again. Okay, please stay a seat. Okay, take a seat. Do it faster. Don't waste time. Okay, hold the palm and follow me. So this just like go to the church, they sing the holy song. But we, as church, you can sing the Buddhist hymns, but instead we do it more religious to nurture your religious spirituality and, at the same time wait for the student to come. So it's just like sitting meditation. You just close your eye and follow me. We chant the name of Guan Yin菩萨. 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世。 音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨， 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。OK, please hold the palm, follow me. 南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。OK。Okay, good morning, all brothers and sisters. Hello, guys. You're from which country? Okay for you? We chant in Mandarin. You just keep silent and have a silence meditation. Okay, if anything, can highlight to me. Thanks. Okay. Before we start the class, a few things to highlight to everybody. First thing, regarding your textbook. They initially ordered 100 copies. The class signed up is about around 160 students. So in other words, some students do have a textbook. So at the moment, they are ordering, coming very soon. So you just share with your fellow classmates, and with the textbook, it's easier for you to follow. Don't just sit down there. So share the textbook with your fellow classmates. And it's supposed to have a Chinese one, Chinese chanting the Sutra, Qing if you want, so that you can, in control, you just start take a look during the lesson. Now, this is the first thing. Second thing is somebody highlighted to me that some error in Chinese at the behind the textbook, the glossary. I did realize there's some error, the mistake, but it's okay. By the time we come to the time, then I highlight to you to correct it. So this is the second thing. Third, now I used to quote a lot of example, especially the life example, because Dharma cannot be separated from daily life. So make sure you fully understood the concept of the basic Dharma or from this Dharma Sutra, so that you can benefit from your daily life, how you apply your daily life. So, Buddhism, sutra, that's not to chant to the Buddha. You should chant to ourselves to understand the sutra, the meaning of the scripture, then put into practice in our daily life. And this is the Buddha intention, not you chant back to Buddha to let Buddha listen to you. Come on. He is came from him, then you want to go back to him. No wonder you see the Buddha here is so long. Of course, this is one of the 32 marks. One of the 32 marks of the Buddha. So, wow, make sure all this kind of traditional wrong concept you should correct. Otherwise, you won't have a happy life in your present life. Happy in your present life, I should say that. So, the concept in Buddhism, very, very important. As you know, in the Eightfold Path, the first one is right understanding. All right, right understanding until all the way right concentration. Eightfold Path. So, right understanding means wisdom. So Buddhism, very unique, wisdom very unique or we call it the feature in Buddhism, 特色. That's different from other religion. Okay, if we want to have a wisdom, of course, we need to practice the Dharma. All right, this is how you generate wisdom. Right. So this sutra, of course, is very profound because it's a Mahayana sutra, as I introduced to everybody during the first lesson. But having said that, although it's a Mahayana quite profound sutra, talk about emptiness, sunyata, detachment, that kind of thing. By the time we talk about this one, and I will tell you how to understand the concept of emptiness, sunya, or sunyata in Sanskrit, and how we're going to relate and practice in our daily life. And that is very important. Just like, Buddhism is, of course, we talk about middle path, is in parallel with the understanding and faith. We call it together, right? In parallel. And this is called middle path. Not like, that's why Buddhism are more intellectual. Of course, when we're doing chanting or whatever, this more emotional part. So not only just emotion, but more intellectual understanding, very, very important. And this is how we're going to generate the wisdom. And with the wisdom, of course, we can attain liberation. You can stay away from suffering. And you have a happy life in your present life, right? And this is what we want. And this is the purpose for you to come to the class. Not just to waste time 1.5 hours over here, right? Just that people go to the Bible, talk the church, short and sweet, whether Old or New Testament, very easy, short and sweet, and therefore they can apply in the daily life, so they are very happy. I mean, in general, of course, mostly. Because some minority, of course, got problem as well. Okay, so the third one, just want to tell you, this format, the written in this way, read by the author, they will translate into English the original text from Chinese, then followed by the introduction, then followed by word, sentence by sentence in detail, right? And some they do have some scholar or any monks mention about something. Then I will tell you refer back to the glossary. So we have some your more hand exercise, not just sit down there and just listen. Okay, so it's a sort of like two-way, right? Okay, so please refer to your textbook, page 39. But anyway, I thanks for your, to remind me not to talk about Trump or whatever. There's an so I will noted with thanks. My style is like that, I'm very open style one, so not as serious yet. So hopefully you really enjoy the class. Of course, Dharma so profound, so you won't find so boring, all right? Early in the morning, I'm not saying early in the morning, but morning is Sunday, right? At 10 o'clock, 9:45 to 11:15. Okay, can you see the chapter 1? We actually going to explain the 10 names of Buddha. All right, so you won't be surprised that, how come Buddha got so many names? Of course, this is due to the condition. Depend on what sort of occasion people address you. Just like, very simple, people like you also got different names. Christian name, English name, family name, office name, whatever. Then probably you are Buddhist, then Dharma name. But you never use Dharma name, although you already taken the refuge in the Triple Gem. Just like baptized. Taking refuge, Kui, it's just like in Christianity, they talk about baptized city. So they give you a Christian name. A lot of Chinese, they use Christian name or English name. But who want to use the Dharma name? And people say, it must be something wrong, come from IMH. Nobody knows Dharma name, right? Something like that. So different names. So one of them we call Bhagavan. This is written in the textbook. So we take a look on the PowerPoint here. We have a very quick one. The 10 titles of the Buddha name, 10大圣号 in Chinese. So when you chant the Chinese one, Sutra, they will mention about these 10 names, right? Buddha got 10 names. 10佛名号. So the 10 titles of Buddha represent the characteristics of the Buddha. His characteristic. Number 1, Tathagata. So Chinese called 如来 Tathagata. This is written in Chinese. Written in Sanskrit. All right. The dust come once. Chinese called 如来. This one, first one. Second, Arhat. Now, if you attended the Dharma class I taught you all before, Arhat is the high fruition, the final goal in Theravada Buddhism. Alohan. That means liberated one in English. Liberated one, 解脱者. That means totally free from suffering. No mental defilement, 没有烦恼, no affliction at all. People like you and me, wow, we have so many problems. Family problems, working problems, friends problems, yourself got own problems. And too bad, this is life. This is life. So life for us is to solve the problems. This life, 生命. Recently the Master Xing Yun passed away, 高雄. And people complain, make a strong remark to him, say he's a political monk. It's just because he has seen so many politicians, right? From ex-president of America until even so many countries, right? China, Xi Jinping, and so on and so forth. So you cannot jump to a conclusion. People seeing a lot of politicians, they say this is a political man. A lot of people like to see the things just only on the surface. All right? Never go investigate to find out what is the true story. They're just a human being, ordinary being. But different from Buddha. Buddha is a wise one. You will investigate the thing, and this is called wisdom, to find out what is the actual cause. But we don't do that. It's just like you're doing the degree course from primary school to recently A-level came out, the result like Friday, and even until university, the degree, the kind of education, this is just on the surface only. But when you're doing the postgraduate, when you're doing the research, that's very deep already. That's a different PhD, master degree, and degree. Right? Whatever you study, just pass the exam, it's just on the surface. But this for maturity, most of the people, they are doing that. But postgraduate is different. Because if you want to find out, do the research, just like Buddha. Right? Find out the true cause. Okay, back to here. So, the worthy of offering. So, as an arhat, he is qualified. Who are the people can offer to him? Divine being, 天神, God, divine being, or human being, both, they are qualified to accept the offering. People like us, monk or nun, we only can accept your offering, dana, but we cannot accept from the God because we are not arhat. So it's a different level. 懂吗? Okay? So worthy offering. Sama Sambuddha, Buddha of proper and universal knowledge. Of course, Buddha is universal knowledge, all kind. Computer, he also know. So a lot of people say, I want to go to the Pure Land when I die, pass away. So always I joke with a student. If you totally nothing, no knowledge, you go there, who want to accept you? Probably you go there, they are more advanced, not only iPhone, Chip, they're probably not using chip, computer, different kind of software, who know? Wow. Okay, the other one we call Vichadana Sampada, perfect in understanding and conduct. Of course, his conduct is most perfect one, not like you and me, all right? Our behavior, and so on and so forth. Okay, next one. Sukata, we mean skillful in living the world through liberation. Liberation means free from suffering, 解脱. And 6, Lokavit, perfect and complete understanding of all worldly dharma. Worldly dharma means 世间法, computer, aircon, lighting, wall, chair, tables, and so on and so forth. All this is called worldly dharma. So worldly dharma are impermanent, subject to changes. It's just a virus, COVID-19, right? Although Singapore quite good, this is how they have a strategy to, to get rid of this COVID-19. But a lot of people, we are still wearing masks. Why? Because Now Vedas still around, right? It's a double protection. You say, no, it's okay. I come to Buddhist law. I study the Dharma Sutra. I got 36 Dharma protector. Come on. It depends on them. It must depend on yourself, right? You put on the mask, double protection. I mean, it's up to individual, right? Although we already, don't need to wear mask anymore. Now, so number 7, Anuta, unsurpassed night. 8, Purusha Dhamya Sarati. All these are Sanskrit, Ampune. Sometimes difficult to pronounce. Ampune in India. Even you go to India, you can see those written in Devanagari. If you go premium holiday to India, this is called Devanagari. Very difficult to learn. I learned in England, my PhD study. What tell you? The most difficult language to learn and easy to forget. Difficult to learn, easy to forget. Why? Because you didn't practice break it out. Here in, the other side out. You see all this written. You still can see in India, on the roadside, right? And this one difficult to learn. The sacred teaching, main one in Hinduism, Hindu. Do you know the name? Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, right? Wow, we learn the Bhagavad Gita. Listen the tape cassette. And you try to understand what it's saying, because all are in Sanskrit. All in Sanskrit, right? Okay, next. Okay, 9, Sasta Divan Anusamyanam. So, teachers of God and people. Wow, he's a teacher of God and people. So, you don't need to worship the God already. If you are already a Buddhist, not necessarily. Don't go to Waterloo Street. A lot of people say, that day Guan Yin must go and pay back the ampao or whatever. All these are traditional. We call it a bit superstitious, right? Buddhism do believe in this one. And the Simaru Guan Yin Miao, Waterloo Street, right? It's not Buddhist temple. It's not a Buddhist temple. Although they put the Guan Yin, or you also could put Guan Yin, put whatever you like, as you wish, right? If you got money, you can go and buy the statue. But strictly speaking, it's not Buddhism, It's Yiguan Dao. Or we call it Tian. Yiguan Dao? Okay, next time then talk about it. No time. Already no time. You explain then gone already. I tell you, one more thing I want to remind you. You go back to do your homework, I just highlight. I'm not going to word by word, line by line, by the time 天更了, So I just highlight to you important, then go back to read up. You don't know, you ask me. If you have any question, you can write on the piece of paper, put it here. If I got time, I try to answer to you. Right? Answer question is a challenge, I don't know what you ask, So a lot of people say, no question. You cannot ask. Yeah. Okay, next. So the Buddha Lokata Nata or Bhagavan. This is one of the books mentioned, Bhagavan. Chinese called Po Che Fan. This is one of the names. You're going to see in the textbook. Bhagavan, Buddha, the world honored ones. Okay, this is called Bhagavan. Okay, please refer to your textbook, page 39. Okay, I save time, so I don't need to read out the whole things again. You see the chapter 1, for instance, I read, Bhagavan, thus have I heard. Chinese called 如是我闻. Later they'll explain to you. Now, the Bhagavan, I already explained to you in the PowerPoint here. If you want, you see the page 440. Turn to behind page 440. Can you see the one? The first top one on the right side. Bhagavan, Chinese called Si Zun. If you know Chinese are bilingual, see the textbook. You don't have the textbook, share with your fellow classmate. But now it's okay. Can sit together, no 1 meter already. Without textbook. So please do buy your textbook. It's provided. They are ordering now, on the way. In the aeroplane now. Provided no traffic jam. Not in the balloon. Balloon do not go where. But this airplane will fly to Singapore, don't worry. Okay, so one of the 10 titles of every Buddha, for the 10大圣号, just like you got so many names. So it's nothing unique, nothing special, nothing one. Okay? You must understand this manner. Otherwise, I go, how come 10 names or whatever? I tell you, you'll never enlighten one. Sometimes you need to investigate further, but sometimes just let go. Depend on the things, the kind of what sort of issue. Okay, it means one who bestow, right, prosperity. Okay, so they explain to you very short and sweet, very simple one. Okay, then refer back to just now page 39 again. Now, another one, that's why Buddhism, I told you a lot of terminology. And those places, the name, sometimes I don't know where, which part in India, you know. And you see the second line, very near Shravasti. Page, can refer to page 461. You just put a remark in your pencil or pen so that when you go back to read, otherwise you go and look for it, you waste a lot of time. Page 461. Because I prepared the lesson, I already find out already, so I tell you. Okay, page 461. 461. Yeah, correct. 461. Stravasti. Can you see it at the bottom there? Page 461. Why? You don't have the textbook. Share with her. Why show one she don't have the textbook? Share with her, yeah. It's okay lah. Sisters, sit together. Near to each other is okay. Okay, Stravasti, Chinese called 社卫国. What is this place? The capital of the kingdom of Kushara. Okay, and the largest city in the ancient India. During the Buddha day. This is a place, Stravati, 社卫国. And this is a place very active. Buddha always go there, you know, give a talk, give a sermon, you know, preach the Dharma, the kind of things. And the Buddha spent more raining season. You know, raining season, in India, they do have a season for 3 months, raining, so sometimes they, in the one place, practice meditation, hardly go out because raining, that kind of thing. So, they believe in 3 months retreat. I call it retreat. And they believe that after 3 months intensive retreat, raining day, then you do meditation. Some people might enlighten, become arhat or whatever, who knows? It's just like now your class, more than 100 students attend this Dharma Sutra. Who knows? At the end of the lesson, somebody, enlightenment. Because of sudden enlightenment, who knows? So congratulations. Well, you can go to Pure Land. Pure Land, I tell one thing. Master Xing Yun and Master Ying Sun, even Master Shen Yan Dharma Drum, they make such a vow. They want to come back to this world again. Chinese called Chen Yun Zai Lai. And this is a humanistic Buddhism. Because when you talk about cultivate the Dharma, it's in this defiled world, not in the Pure Land. Pure Land, for those people really quite difficult, can't face the challenge in this defiled world. They prefer to go to more conducive place, better place for cultivation. Then you go there. But go there still have to cultivate. But time period will be longer. Fair. It give you a better environment. So you take long time to finish your task. But you cultivate in this defiled world faster. So it's your choice. So think carefully. Go there or come here. It's choice, either go or come back. You see, so you must write a will, whether you want to Wanseng Ami Tofo. Yeah, you can go to Pure Land. But, you see those eminent monks, they want to come back to this world, just like Guan Yin Pusa, to save sentient beings. Right? And, according to Master Xing, he said, because he innovated the so-called humanistic Buddhism, where Buddhism is in this human world, not in the Pure Land or heaven. Okay? This is by skillful means, upaya. Some people coward, cannot face a challenge, lack of confidence, don't have the courage, so they prefer to go there. No, I'll give you a place to go there. Something like that. But you go there, enjoy your life, but you spend longer time. Okay? So it's very fair one. Right? Very fair. It's just I come to the class, I told you already, you must have a determination, persistent, and confident to do it. And you must commit yourself. It's just only once every 2 weeks. It's not every week. Once every 2 weeks. So not too bad. Of course, sometimes you are not free, then, can't be helped. Now, so the Buddha spent more rainy seasons in the vicinity of this city than anywhere. Okay, than anywhere. Please turn to page 462. Anywhere else, and it was here that he defeated, the leaders of the competing religious sect. Because down there, a lot of different, besides Buddhism, there are other religions, Jainism, Hinduism, Brahminism, and so on and so forth in India. And now if you go to India, such a poor thing. Buddhism, you can't see hardly Buddhists down there. 0.001% are Buddhists at the moment. But basically, most of them are Hindu or Islam. No more Buddhists. Although you can see a lot of historical sites, the Buddhas, but no more already. Right? Not many Buddhists. Okay, please turn to the page 39. Okay. Go back to the page. Now, another place at the Anathapindada Pindada. This one, the place, you turn to page 438. If you want to know the place, you turn to page 438. That's why you get it right then before you explain the in detail. 438. Turn to page 438. Can you see the third one, the glossary? Anathapindada Garden. 即孤独园. This kind of he donated the place for the Buddha also, for Buddha to stay there to preach the Dharma. This is a 孤独园. Is the name of the lay people. Can you see here? It said the retreat outside the capital of the Sravatis, where this sutra was spoken, right? Spoken by the Buddha. It was named for Sutta Anathapindada, 即孤独园 in Chinese, right? So he's a benefactor. So who donated the land to the Buddha? Just like nowadays you donate the money to the people to build a temple, right? That donation, make a donation. But you donate the place for Buddha to use the place to preach the Dharma. So donated the land to the Buddha's order after buying it from the Prince Jeta. All right. So it's very generous, right? And donate the land. Okay, can you turn to page 39 again? Another one called Jeta Forest. Jeta, just as I said from the Prince Jeta. Now this one you turn to page 450. But if you want to save time, if you allow me, when come to those places, you go and read out by yourself. Then I need to turn here and there, so I straight go to the content. That will be faster. Otherwise, spend a lot of time. Okay, turn to page 450. I show you this one. Jeta. Can you see the second one? In bracket, Jeta Vana Vihara. Vihara is a small in terms of area for the Sangha to stay one. Temple and Vihara are different. Vihara in Chinese is called Jingse. It means whereby the place for Sangha to stay. Right, the place. So you see here, the forested hunting preserve 2 kilometers southwest of Sravati. It was originally owned by the son of Qing, right, personality, Prince Jeta. Okay, so who donated it to the Buddha after Sutta offering to buy it so that he could provide the Buddha with a place to live, for Buddha to live, to stay there, right, during his visit to the city. So together, the two men who also constructed one of the first monastic complexes, for the order. So this is during the very earlier time, right, earlier stage. Okay, back to the textbook again. Just now that one, page 39. Okay, look at the below one, chapter 1. Now I told you already it's a format written by the author. So give us a very brief introduction for this chapter, then go into thus have I heard, and so on and so forth all the way at the end of the chapter. Now take a look on the bottom one, chapter 1. The remaining 31 chapters, because this consists of 32 chapters for Diamond Sutra. 32分 is consists of 32 chapters for Diamond Sutra. So now we start from chapter 1. That's why I said the remaining 31 chapters of this sutra attempt to explain what happens in the first. So they tell you the praise, who are the people going to attend for this Dharma talk, and the Buddha. You see, this chapter, although you see, it is a daily life, very simple, nothing, no Dharma at all, but you're wrong. I told you already, right? They're going to bring across the important message to us is that Dharma, or for the sage, people like Buddha, once he became Buddha, everything also normal. As long as you are still living in this world, you still have to eat, you still have to walk, you still have to wash, you have to take shower, everything. You still have to wearing the clothing, whatever. Everything is normal. The only difference is you are mentally free from suffering. But physically, because you are bondage, right, in this world, so you're bound to have a illness, sickness, and so on and so forth problems. And this cannot be avoided. But only the mind can go beyond that, right? Beyond the physical problem or physical pain, right? And this is actually very important because we are still living in this human world. And some people say, hey, once I become Buddha, of course, Buddha already became Buddha at the age of 35. But he still had to wash his foot, the leg, when he go for alms begging, because dust, a lot of dust. He still had to wash. He still had to walk. He cannot fly, although he got spiritual power. So everything is normal.
Everything is normal. Now, if you study the Dhammapada, it's not the Arahat. Basically, there are two types of Arahat. One with the wisdom. Of course, they got wisdom. But they don't have the spiritual power. People like you and me, no spiritual power. We got miracle power. But the other type of Arahat, not only just a wisdom, he also will have a spiritual power. He can fly, he can do this, can do that. He don't need to take MRT. Then he don't need to buy the expensive air ticket, go to China, go to Australia, whatever. He just fly, go to America. Right? And this is called spiritual power. He can read your mind. You don't need to open the door. He made the body invisible. Coming already. And very fast, beyond time and space. This is called spiritual power, right? The Buddha have to do everything all over again. Just like you and me in our daily life, we have to take shower, take breakfast or whatever. You can say you become Buddha, don't need to eat, don't need to sleep. You see, a lot of Buddhists have a wrong concept. That's why you behave like very funny one. When they talk, you couldn't understand. They eat, you also dare not to eat. The behavior is so funny one. I was a lay people, I know. Whether guy, male or female. Right? Sometimes people told me, young people say, hey, my mother asked me come to the temple. He see a lot of young lady and young boy or whatever. Then he was so disappointed. He came in and said, are you a lot of auntie, uncle? He said, I must prefer to City Harvest Church. Can make a lot of friends, pretty girl, handsome guy. I didn't say you're not pretty, sorry. They behave like funny. This is a concept problem because your mentally what you think, then your behavior in this way because mind is control your physical action, Right? Not say we ML, then we cannot compete with them. Of course, we are not criticizing. But you see, people go to church. When I was in England, they are very happy. The whole family go on, More, they are looking forward for Sunday, for praying, And sometimes go there for breakfast or after breakfast, they go 2 sessions in the morning, 8 to 10 or whatever. Then you have a reception, have a drinks or whatever, then go back. They are looking forward. Not like you and me, you see, thinking about the reason SQ don't come. Call monitor. Monitor, I have a stomach ache. Sorry. And my mother's birthday, I have this and that. I got some commitment. Sorry, I cannot come. You see, it's a different attitude, right? The mentality, It's just like you study in the university or whatever. What sort of your attitude, your study? It's the same thing, right? Okay, back to here. Now, so, essentially they examine the nature of the Buddhahood and the path that leads, Theravada, right? In the first chapter, this is the first chapter, we see what a Buddha does, which is not so different, from our own daily round of existence. That's why I told you, everything the same, although we became Buddha, right, in our daily life. Eat, sleep, walking, clothing, everything the same, no different. Okay? Behave normally. Behave very normal. And some people, they have a wrong concept. Those Buddhists, behave like very funny. Last time, when I was lay people, 师兄, 大师兄, great disciple like that. That means he became Buddhist for more than 30 years, but so what? Eat and sleep for 30 years. Wasting time. Meaningful. Very, very not meaningful, right? Wasting time. And this is a concept mentality problem. So therefore, right understanding is very, very important in Buddhism. Means wisdom. Concept. But this concept will lead you to the right or wrong path. So it's a direction. So very important. Very important. If you lead to the right path, then how are you going to walk throughout the end until your final goal? Of course, this is a challenge. And this is called cultivation. Cultivation is not hide in the mountain, practice meditation, become recluse. Cultivation, you have to face to the world, expose to the public, interact with people. And when you interact with people, we got more problems. A lot of politics, office politics. Temple also got politics. And some people say, wow, temple very good, pure land, pure your head, pure land. As long as human being, you interact with human being, a lot of politics one. Between Sangha, among Sangha, also politics. That's why people comment, Master Xing Yin, political monk. In fact, it's not political monk. Not only him, a lot of people, monks also say, none also the same thing. Human beings, this is called human beings. Right? And you interaction, then you got more problems. That's why a lot of Buddhists have a wrong concept. They dare not to talk to people, interact with people. Why? They're scared when you expose too much, then you see he's a lot of mistake, the kind of behavior, something go wrong already. And this is called self-reflection, vipassana in Buddhism practice. It is called self-reflection, just a mirror. Dharma mirror. Dharma mirror, not a normal mirror, to show whether how many pimples, this and that, and comb your hair properly before go to work. Dharma mirror is to reflect, for instance, our three poisons: greed, hatred, ignorance. Right? This is called Dharma mirror. And what we want is this Dharma mirror. You have a self-reflection. Because during normal life, our eyes to see outside world, outside external object, but you never see your inner world, our problem, own problem. We always penalize people. You're wrong, I'm right. Very egoistic. And this we call cultivation in Buddhism. Right? To practice it, and this is how you generate wisdom. Okay, back to here. So if we could only do what? Turn to next page. What we do unhindered by the attachment. Right? A lot of people cling on to the external object. When we cling on to the external object, then this is how suffering comes from. Okay? And see what we do unobstructed by delusion. But all outside things are delusion. Unreal. Why? Impermanent. Subject to changes. Where up and down. You look at it, whether economic, climate, virus, everything in the world. Nothing is permanent. Weather, sometimes sunshine, next moment rain. Who knows? Our mood, up, down. Especially for female, very fast one. Male also got mood, bad mood. It's just a female more in comparison. I say in comparison. So female are slightly more serious. Last time during my talk, one female student come and challenge me, 师父, how can you say 女孩子业障重? Get scolded. I say, So I know my technique. I say, yeah, all got karma, all got this kind of problem. But in comparison, females slightly more problem. In terms of jealousy, very calculative or whatever. Guy also have. But female more serious. You are born innate, so this can't be helped. Right? It's beyond your control. Right? Okay, continue. So what this sutra teaches us is how to transform attachment and delusion. How to transform. Okay? How to be a Buddha. Of course, if you can transform it, you go beyond it, then you become Buddha. Alright? It's short and sweet, very clear cut. So, and it begins with a patch rope. Patch rope, when you wear the kesa, jasa, people like us, people like your lay people, is no patch rope. Because even you so receive 5 precepts, it's a brown color one. Beside the Qing, the black color, actually this black color is when Buddhism came to China, started from China, In ancient India, it's white color one. For Jainism, even in India now, they are wearing white color. Even in Thailand, Theravada Buddhism, lay people are wearing white color one. Buddhism came to China, then become black color. So which color you prefer? Black better. White, very easy to get dirty, Right? And this just like uniform. Everybody is saying that now you see no uniform. Got pink color, got red color, got white color, got gray color, got black color, everything. Right? So very colorful. And they have a distraction, right? Distraction, sanluan. So they when you do chanting or whatever, all wear the kesa, the same color. So nothing to see. You black, I black. You white, I white. Nothing to see. Correct now? Or whether you're wearing the sexy clothing or whatever, who knows? Because covered up. So that you can pay attention to the talk. Yeah, some people very pakwa, always so be all around, People come in, who? Next who? So distraction, somewhat. So the patch rope is for the monk. They got 5 boxes, 9 boxes, 19 boxes, 25 boxes. This indicate the one, just like planting, the farmer planting, do some planting. So you have get some fruits, the fruition, the end of the result. So this is called we call it fortune or bliss, fu bao. Right? So only for monk sangha, they wear the kesa, they have different boxes. So more boxes show that you are the senior monk or senior nun. But start from 5 boxes. People like you, even you receive the 8 precepts, you can wear the brown color, the kesa, but no box at all. Very plain one. 很纯的，没有一个一个。They call patch rope, okay? The empty bowl, you know the bowl? Have you seen it before? You see those Theravada with alms bowl, alms begging. In Singapore, can I go alms begging? You go alms begging, police come away. But in Myanmar, in Thailand, Laos, those Theravada country, early in the morning, you see those Sami, those young monk or whatever, you see on the roadside, the whole group, the long queue, they queued up, then they go for alms begging. Begging for what? Begging for food. Makan, right? So empty bowl, even the bowl, they are different size, small, medium, large. I tell the story when I studied in England. I went to another place. This is the first time I go to, because we don't need to alms begging for us Mahayana monk. Because my professor, he's Theravada Buddhism. He said, I invite you to come for the offering, that kind of thing. So I went to the east of England, and you see, though mostly are all Theravada monk. I'm the only one Mahayana Chinese monk. So I don't have the bowl. Because I go to study, I didn't bring the bowl. Moreover, I don't have the bowl. So I go there, they say, do you have a bowl? I said, no, nothing, emptiness, nothing. They said, okay, come, I give you one. Then he brought me to the storeroom. The bowl, never used it for a long time. A lot of spider web. The bowl, they keep for so long because all spider web, So I have no time to clean, They asked me to go for begging the food. You dare to eat or not? Then I mean, for sure, only actually for sure one. Then I'm the last one because the last queue, because I'm the Chinese monk. The rest all Theravada, where I can see the shoulder one. Okay, I'm speaking. Because all of them are from Thailand, they are very sincere, that kind of thing. Okay, back. Then go back to the place. You throw all the food into the one big bowl there, Then everybody share. Of course, they can eat onion garlic. We cannot eat any onion garlic, correct or not? And this is my first experience. I'm spreading. Bowl, I got one, the smaller size one, just like small bowl, you can eat rice bowl, just as rice bowl. Very small one, I got it from Taiwan. Medium, because they asked me, what size you want? I said, wow, this one too big, cannot. I said, medium size. Small one, cannot. It's too small. Small for you, can. I said, cannot. I want medium one. So it's very funny, right? So it's a sort of experience. Okay, so and the Buddha daily practice in this teaching. Now, here they mention about, next paragraph, the division of the text into the 32 chapters was work of Prince Chao-ming. This Chao-ming, who is he? You turn to page 441. It's one of the prince, the emperor. You take a look, page 441. Can you see Chao-ming? The second one? You see the Chinese word Chao-ming. Now, it's a crown prince and the eldest son of the Emperor Wu, okay, Emperor Wu, of the Liang dynasty, Liang Wu Di. Chinese called Liang Wu Di. He was an emperor. 502 to 556. Well, I see last time people, they only live more than 50 years old, less than 60, That's why Chinese has a phrase, 人生70古来稀. In ancient China, if you can live until the age of 70 and above, this is considered longevity already, 长寿 already. Usually they live less than 70 years old, 50, 60 or whatever, even Nagarjuna, those eminent monks. And nowadays in Singapore, the average age, you can live even very long one, because a lot of people take supplement, spend a lot of money in supplement, because that one can take care of your health, right? So usually about 83.5 in Singapore years old. So when you plan for your retirement fund, you plan 85 plus minus. So if you are unluckily until 100 years old, you go and sleep at the roadside. So if you live less than 83.5 years old, then you still got enough money to spend. But who knows? Impermanent. You see, when you study Dharma class, also can change. I always joke with a student. Some people very superstitious have seen the palm. 算命, fortune teller. Guy is left hand side. I don't believe in this one. In prison, I just tell you the joke. Guy is left hand. For male is right hand. Now, there's a line can tell you how long you can live. But don't believe that, although they are quite accurate, just like Kung Fu say. But very luckily, because you study Dharma class, so you're more cheerful, become more got wisdom. So the thing can change. Really, I tell you, if you don't believe, they don't use your handphone to take your picture, your arm. So after this course, then you see you compare This is called impermanent. Compare the line whether it's shorter or longer. It's shorter, that means something wrong already. Well, shorter, that means it's dorming, but actually you can live until 60 or 80 years old, then become 60 years old. I can shorten. Then if you longer, congratulations, probably you can live until 80. But even you can live until 80, also don't be happy, because all this is karma, subject to people can take care of you, or you're very healthy, you take care of yourself, that kind of things. If you're old, a lot of illness, and you want people to take care of you, then must well you die faster. But doesn't mean that you want to die, you can die one. All these are karma. Because in Buddhism, don't believe in God is a creator. I created you, then I can let you go anytime. But Buddhism don't believe in that. We believe in karma, condition, right? All this. Okay, so back to the textbook. This is called Liang Wuti. In addition to the devoting himself to meditation and the study of the Diamond Sutra, he compiled one of the China great literary anthologies. We call it Wen Xuan. Okay, this is actually one of the kind of how they doing the writing. Now, compile, and he's also responsible for the chapter division of the Diamond Sutra. So his retreat can still be visited in the hills south of Zhenjiang, not far from where the Buddha Dharma crossed the Yangtze River, 在中国 in China, on the hollow reed, and headed north. This tells you the place. Okay, turn to the next one. This one is it as well. Okay, go back to the front one, page 40. Now, so this is called Zhao Ming, Emperor Wu of the Liang dynasty. Okay, next paragraph. So it is also ironic that while the father, was busy emptying his treasury to support the Buddhist order, the son was compiling China great literary anthology, right, known as a Wen Xuan. I'm called Wen Xuan. Okay, just we already mentioned here, devoting himself to the Diamond Sutra and so on and so forth. Now, what I have to mention here, they mention the name called Hui Ren. You see the end of this chapter or even the next paragraph. They call Hui Ren. You know who is Hui Ren? The sixth patriarch of, the Sutra of the sixth, he's the sixth patriarch, Hui Ren Da Si. Okay, Liu Zu Tan Jing, the sixth patriarch, the Sutra of sixth patriarch. Now, so this Hui Ren, you can see the page 449, mention about what is he, who is he, and you just take a look by yourself. Of course, it's sixth patriarch in Zen school, Zen Buddhism, Chanzong, Hui Ren. Just like, of course, focus on meditation, right? Zen. Zen means wisdom. Chan Ding, Ding is concentration. Zen means wisdom. So concentration of wisdom in parallel, Ding Hui Suan Xiu. Okay, this is called Chanzong. So Hui Ren say, the late Prime Minister, Chang Wu Jing. If you want to know who is he, page 440. You just indicate that before you go back to it faster. You use a pen or pencil to indicate it. So if not for the Dharma, there would be no way to discuss emptiness. So in other words, Buddha Dharma is emptiness, means emptiness, Kong, right? Kong. But Kong emptiness doesn't mean nothingness. A lot of people try to teach you, nothingness, nothing, 这个空 pocket empty, but it's not emptiness. It's not nothingness. Kong is referring to the characteristic of nature of all things in the phenomena don't have an intrinsic nature, lack of intrinsic nature. Nothing is permanent. All things are impermanent. All things are impermanent. All things are depend on causes and conditions. Just like you can come to the class, also depend on causes and conditions. Subject to this morning, you are free, you had your breakfast, you took the transport, everything smooth, you come here earlier, or everything, this is called good condition, Then after the class, you go back, also, everything smooth, everything, every day also, very peaceful, very safe, and so on and so forth. So all these will depend on causes and conditions. But how can you meet him or meet your husband, then we marry or everything? All these are depend on causes and conditions. You just imagine there's so many people, human beings in the world. But how come you born in Singapore? Then you come to Buddhist lodge. Then you join this class. They got more than 100 students here. Although you don't like the student, your classmate sit beside you, but too bad, all these are conditions. Right? I don't like him or her, but I don't know how come sit beside me. Always the same seat one. See, we don't need usher one in Buddhist temple. The seat is permanent one. Just as she always sit there one. From the day one, with the way to Buddhahood, whether beside the empty seat or whatever, he sit stationary. Not moving one, motionless. Why? Habit already, right? And he also always see one brother he prefer this is 风水比较好嘛. So I see here, I find very comfortable. I can focus on the lesson. Who know? You don't sure they have a reason behind one, right? No, everything got the reason behind one, right? We call cause and effect. 因跟果. All right, Buddhism believe in cause and effect. Okay. Now, this call 会then加上that one. Okay, we go to page 41. Okay, go to the actual for the chapter 1. Thus have I heard. 如是我闻 in Chinese. Thus have I heard. When you see the sutra, the first sentence usually, thus have I heard. 如是我闻. And this is trying to show us that this is the real sutra. Must have this indicated in the sutra. The first sentence, 如是我闻. Thus have I heard. And this shows that this is the real sutra was spoken by the Buddha. But nowadays, due to advanced technology, people can cut and paste, Yeah, they cut and paste 什么佛说因果经，什么经神经病，什么神经，and they put it at the sutra on the first sentence there. Thus have I heard. Oh yeah. Mention Venerable say one. This is the real sutra. That's me. So sometimes I see the content as well. But nowadays, due to advanced technology, you need to cut and paste, do this and that. Okay? So how to see the content? Of course, you study Dharma class before. We call 3 seals of the Dharma. Those people never attended, I don't know. All right? Or 3 mark or assistant. 三法印. 3 seals of Dharma. 三法印 in Chinese. For instance, you must make sure the content is telling us is all things are impermanent. It's not permanent. If it is permanent, something wrong. All right? Nirvana is stillness. Things are impermanent. And no self. Right? So this is called 3 seals of Dharma. It's just to certify. Just like your certificate or degree, without stamp certified, and not valid. Not valid. It must have a seal, 盖章. Yeah, this is the real one. And it's called 3 seals of the Dharma. So you must use these 3 seals of the Dharma as a guide principle, right? To see whether the content, everything is a real Dharma spoken by Buddha or not, by the Buddha or not. Not just with the word, thus have I heard. Okay? But in general, of course, they say, thus have I heard. Yeah, it's to prove that this sutra was spoken by the Buddha. So what does it mean? Of course, before we go into the detail, during the Buddha time, in ancient India, 2,600 years ago, they don't have the paper. They don't have the handphone. They don't have a cassette or recorder. 没有的. So what they do is through remembering. 记忆, you say, I try to remember. So they are very good in remembering one, Last time, Anand is very good in remembering because always follow Buddha. When Buddha give a sermon, all the places, and he use the brain to remember everything, just a computerized computer, everything saved in the disk already. Nowadays, the people, handphone, even keyboard also don't know how to use already. They do use a hand to write already. That the handwriting is also a very horrible one. Hardly practice. Then use a handphone. I do come to the class. I can e-learning computer. Don't need to come. Or I can use recording, use a handphone. Or you write on the PowerPoint or whatever. I don't need to write. Why? Take picture, handphone. Okay, right? You see, so fast, save time. Right? But do you think it's good? I think it's good, give and take. During that time, they are very good in memory. But nowadays, I don't think so. A lot of people don't use a brain. That's why a lot of people dementia. This is also one of the reasons. Dementia. You don't use your brain. Especially for old people, you don't use the brain. I tell you, you'll get dementia very fast one, Because it never make your brain active. It's just like your body must keep yourself body active. That means you must do a lot of exercise. Young people don't need to do exercise, okay, because you are young, But old people must do exercise because your heart, everything, circulation, blood is not so good already. But a lot of people don't accept when you are getting old. Old, that means old. Nothing to be afraid or ashamed of. Old, that means old. A lot of people don't accept it. That's why they suffer. They suffer. 你不接受嘛? And people see me, recently the New Year gather lunch, people see my student, Venerable 师父, 哎呦, 你还是一样. 我是一样个头了一样. impermanent 为我一样，老了我说老了，他说你看起来是不老嘞，不老是骗你的。Okay, back to here, page 441. Thus have I heard. This is called Thus have I heard. The voice that begins all sutra is that of Ananda. I told you Ananda, one of the 10 disciples of the Buddha. I don't know here downstairs they have. Usually you go to the main hall, main shrine hall in Buddhist temple. You see the center of Shakyamuni Buddha, just as Shakyamuni Buddha, then left and right. Okay, so let me see. I didn't know left or right, forgotten. One is Mahakasyapa. The look very old one, very serious. That one is the eldest, the oldest disciple of the Buddha. So the one very serious, look very serious, conservative. Just this one actually reflects the different character. So 保守派 conservative party, Ananda look very young. Of course, he's young. Then with the bald head, and you see the young one. That one is Ananda. 多闻第一 come on this. And this is a more open one, So 大众部. So you see the Buddha got 2 disciples, usually, And you see the Pure Land, 西方三圣 right, Amitofo. The other one is 观音菩萨. And the other Bodhisattva is 大势至, right? So 2. Usually they got 2. Hardly one, you can see one. So this means that all things are depend on causes and conditions. You need your people to support you. One person sometimes very hard to do it, So this is a teamwork, you can say team spirit. Everybody has to be cooperative. I need your cooperation. You also need my cooperation, right? I need your cooperation in terms of pay attention to the class. Everybody can pay attention. Then you can learn something. With this have a more conducive environment. So I need your full cooperation. Okay, back to here. So who was born on the day of the Buddha enlightenment, right? As a child, Ananda impressed others with his perfect memory. Very good in memory, Ananda. 多闻第一, one of the 10 disciples of the Buddha. And when he joined the Buddha's order, Shakyamuni repeated all the sermon he had missed in the intervening years. Okay, 3 more lines on the right hand side. So nearly 30 years later, as the Buddha approached the time of his nirvana, you know what is nirvana? 涅槃 in Chinese, nirvana means liberation. Nirvana means liberation. Of course, in Buddhism, there are 2 types of nirvana. For Buddha, he was attained the nirvana. This is called pari nirvana, tapo nibbana. This is only for Buddha only. We are not qualified. As people like you and me, there are 2 types of nirvana with residue and nirvana without residue. Nirvana with residue. And the other one is without residue, nirvana. Chinese called 有疑跟无疑涅槃. Residue means with this resultant body. We call it resultant body means physical body. Physical. Just as Buddha, he was, at the age of 35, he became enlightenment, right? Enlightened one. Then throughout the 45 years, until the age of 30, then he passed away. We call it attained nirvana. So throughout the 45 years, he gave a sermon with this physical body, and it's called nirvana with residue. So residue means with this physical body. So with this physical body, bonded by this physical body, so we tend to have a illness, pain, and so on and so forth. So Buddha also got illness, pain, homesick, high blood pressure, I don't know. Probably have. So some people go to the temple, they worship to the Buddha, say, Buddha, bless me. Make sure I'm healthy, whatever. So you bargain with him. So if you know Buddha also got sick, some illness, 他怎么保佑你自己没破病嘛? So can't you see it's a paradox, 矛盾啊, So when you're sick, please do superstition, go to see doctor, please. Doctor, they gone through 5-6 years training, otherwise going to close shop already, right? So when you sick, go to see doctor, and if you really have a serious illness, then you see specialist. Then at the same time, you're seeking for Buddha blessing, okay? Must be in parallel, and then will be speed up your recovery. That will be very fast. Right? You don't just depend on Buddha, Then put 1 glass of water, Omito, I tell you, chan, until you drink, I think still the same thing, probably. So you need to see that. But some people are very superstitious. They need 大悲咒, 大悲水, right? I tell you, with the open, no cover, no this cover for the cup, then you don't know any virus going, Then you drink, you say, wow, Buddha bless me, yeah. Then you can go to Pure Land very fast already. After you drink, straight go. No suffering, very fast. Okay, back to here. Now, so 30 years later, as a Buddha approached the time of Nirvana, Ananda asked what words to praise at the beginning of each sutra. So we have to thank Ananda because he asked Buddha. Then Buddha said, okay lah. Use the word, thus have I heard, 读书我闻, at the beginning of the sutra. And this shows that this is really spoken by me. You know, that's the reason why you see a lot of sutra. The first sentence, thus have I heard, 读书我闻. So now know the history behind. So when you chant 金刚经 or 阿弥陀经，如是我闻一时佛在就oh yeah, I learned it from the class one. So you more appreciate, you know. When you chant without understanding, 那个假功才修功行 you know. You see, some people become Buddhist for 30 years. Last time when I was young, I came to Buddhist lodge. Then I went to River Valley bus stop to take bus. In the moment I boarding the bus, wow, those auntie 老菩萨 say, 你学佛多久啊？30年了。哇 I heard it, I really 晕倒 get fainted. I say I only the first year only. 哇，差劲了。But the moment they say 30 years, they use the vulgar words or whatever, you know. 因为假财就是咩 You know, you don't know the meaning of become vegetarian. So meaningless. Not just vegetarian only. You must know the Dharma. You practice in your daily life. And then you change your whole behavior. And this is called cultivation, 修行. So you see, Dharma class, usually lesser people to attend on Dharma talk. But more people go for chanting. Why? Chanting are more emotional. Because you are seeking for external help. I chant your name, you bless me, 保佑我来. But this one, the other way around. No? You listen to the Dharma, but you do yourself. Buddha not going to do for you. I'm not going to do for you. Right now, you have to practice by yourself. Buddhas merely show the way. We ourselves must walk the path. Buddha merely show the way. Come on. Buddha not do for us. We have to do it by ourselves. That's the reason why people don't want to come for Dharma talk. First, you probably cannot fully understand the Dharma. Second, it's a challenge. I don't know how to practice it. I cannot do it. I lack of confidence. So many obstacles. You see? So people prefer chanting external help. I pay the money, I invite the monks. That's why people say, when people wedding, go to the church, you're looking for pastor. When people pass away, you're looking for who? Monks. 死人找和尚，结婚找牧师 in Chinese. Yeah, because he said, it's your job. Then you go and look for the monks to chant for you. You know, you want to marry, go to church. Yes, I see in Singapore, because I was solemnizer before. You know, in Singapore, how many solemnizer, according to ROM? More than 1,000 are pastor. Solemnizer. Those are pastor or priest, you know. Every church at least got one solemnizer. I mean, whether they are pastor or priest. But in Buddhism, less than 30, less than 30, you know. But having said that, this include monks and lay people and monastic, no? Adding in, less than 30 are solemnizer, no? You see, these are minority, just like Muslim, Buddhism, Hindu, whatever. They are called it minority. But most are Christian, you know, or Catholic. They are all solemnizer. So they know, you want to marry, you go to the church, no? You want to go to Pure Land, you come to the temple, no? Pure Land, come to the temple. Heaven, go to the church. Okay, back to the textbook. Now, so Ananda who works to praise the beginning of each sutra. That is the reason why, you know, the sutra, you can see the first of the sentence of the sutra. Can you turn to page? You see, those mention the name, can you turn to page 42? Now, of course, this textbook are a little bit academic. So they even find, tell us that there's some scholar, whether they are scholar or eminent monks or philosopher, regarding this first chapter, they do have some their opinion. No, regarding this, so thus have I heard, they have some their own personal opinion. For instance, you see page 42, you see the Li Wenhui, who is he? You can turn to page 452. You just include this, you can see at the page 452. Here, they quoted by him, thus is another work of our nature, outside of our nature. Nothing else is real. So this is nature in terms of thus have I heard. This is what Buddha said. This is the real one. Otherwise, it's considered unreal. And the other one is called 道传. Okay, this one you can see there at the page 464. He also got something to say. For instance, the way of the ancients was said to be just so. Some they use the word just so. For by the time they thought about it, it had already changed. But when the way changes, where does it go? Right? Speed it up. It does run off just anywhere. So where does it actually go? Speak words won't burn your mouth. This is what I say. So just on the clear, still night, the moon shine alone. So water doesn't, exist apart from wave. Okay? Because together, all in one. We call it one substance. So the waves are water. Okay? And the other one called Jiang Wei Long. Okay? You see, there you got something to say. At the page 441. Page 441. It just indicates, you go back and read up. So when people believe something, they said it does. So this has to show that, give us the confidence that this is really spoken by the Buddha. Okay? So when they don't believe something, they say it is not thus. Okay? So thus have I heard. That means we believe that this sutra was spoken by the Buddha. So we must confident, believe in that. You see, religion, not only Buddhism, we talk about belief, 信仰, faith, or we use the word faith. And this is compulsory, necessary for all the religion, whether you're Christianity, you're Catholic, you're Hinduism, whatever. But Buddhism is different from other religions because we talk about right faith or right belief, 正信, right? In Chinese, 正信. With the word 正, right belief or right faith, that means that's why we want to become true Buddhist, 正信佛教, because we understand we have a wisdom, we are not superstitious, we are more intellectual, and this is called right faith, or call it true Buddhist. And some Buddhists, you see, basically there are three types of Buddhists. One Buddhists are just by name, we call it nominal Buddhist, by name only. I heard there's an NUS student told me, say our founder Lee Kuan Yew, Prime Minister, ex-Prime Minister, he, I don't know, some people say he's Buddhist, but nominal Buddhist. It means name only because he didn't go to the temple, didn't come to Buddhist law or whatever, because he was a Prime Minister. He come so many bodyguards, So they probably practice at home or whatever, or I don't know, never go to temple or just taken refuge or whatever. It's called nominal Buddhist. The other one called superstitious one, 迷信的, never follow the teaching, Buddha teaching. And the third one is the best one, true Buddhist. Follow the teaching accordingly and practice in the daily life. And they got wisdom. And what we want is this kind of Buddhist. And this type of true Buddhist, then we have a happy life. Otherwise, your life is full of suffering because you fall into two extremes. We call it middle path in Buddhism, 中道. Okay? Now, Avatamsaka Sutra. This one you can see on the page 459. Now, in Chinese called 华严经, one of the beside Lotus Sutra, 华严经, one of the important sutra in Mahayana Buddhism, right? Avatamsaka in Sanskrit. Now, this Avatamsaka say, belief marks the beginning of the path. So, belief very important. That's why we have a strong faith in God, or if you have a strong faith in Buddha, I strongly believe in Buddha or Buddhism, then you will study Buddhism, then you will practice Buddhism. If I don't have a confidence, I thought, are you real or unreal? So you have some doubt already, right? You suspect something, right? So you don't have a strong faith. So faith, strong faith, is applied to all the religion. It's just like Buddhism talk about right faith, 正信, more intellectual. Right? You have to do an investigation. Why people say so, why people do that. There must be a reason behind. We call it cause and effect. As I told you just now, don't see things just on the surface. Yeah, 很多人看热闹, then you straight jump to the conclusion. So that might not be the actual real story. Correct? And this is called wisdom. Right? Okay, so you see, it is a mother of the virtues and the protector of all good dharmas. 6, belief is the first gate of the path. Hence, this expression placed at the very beginning. So in other words, to make sure we have a strong faith, right? And believe that this Dharma Sutra is really spoken by the Buddha. So with the word, thus have I heard. Understood? Okay, so move on to another one. Page 42. Once the Bhagavan was dwelling near Stravasti, right, at Anathapindana garden in the Jeta forest. So if you see the Chinese one, 一时佛在舍卫国，子树即孤独园. Alright, compare with that. So this one referring to these two sentences of Chinese sutra. Okay. once. You see, once, 一时. You know, in India, they don't focus on time one. No? So when you want to do the research in Indian Buddhism, you want to trace back the history, it's a big challenge. People ask to do the research, you know. If you want to do your PhD research in Indian Buddhism, I tell you, it's very difficult one because you want to, especially want to do the history. You want to find out, this talking about the time history. You want to find out, because they don't focus on time, there's no record one. So you want to do the research, very difficult. No? It's easier to do Buddhism in China. Chinese Buddhism, much more easier. Because they go recorded the time, whether Han Dynasty, Liang Dynasty, Tang Dynasty, so you can trace back the time. But Indian Buddhism very difficult. So because they very difficult, and also the time difference, India now the time whether advanced or behind us, just like in England, whether we are behind or in the advance, depend on the location, right? So they cannot tell you exactly the time. Can't. So they use once. You see, people that once upon a time. Well, so here it once, Chinese called 一时. So they cannot tell precisely 10 a.m., whatever. Just like organizers sent me the Facebook during our first lesson, and they want to promote this Dharma class, a Dharma talk. Then they say, this course for 2 years. That means you're very rigid already, You have to be committed. So I'm telling you, during my first lesson, I told you, say, more than 1 year. Plus, minus, also impermanent. If I tell so many examples, then everything behind already. So, actually, Dharma class, no example one. Dharma class is focused on the Dharma, But I scared people, couldn't understand, too chim, too profound, also fall into sleep. So I usually use the strategy, middle path. A little bit of joke because of Dharma, not for the sake of joke. Then, so that will everything slow down a little bit. And moreover, I told you already, once every 2 weeks, Why not? So I tell you, mentally prepare first, around better, around 2 years. They are say 2 years, not by me, by organizer. Okay, so don't blame me. Because I tell you in advance, cause and effect. Okay, so here say once. So according to the system established by Zhi Yi, who is Zhi Yi? The founder of Tian Tai School. Zhi Yi. Ayo, cannot erase. Hey, later on, check it out, class monitors. Tian Tai School, one of the school in Chinese Buddhism. There consists of 8 schools in Chinese Buddhism. Okay, in Theravada Buddhism, they got 18 school, 20 school, 50 school, 100 school, 200 school, 500 school. There are so many. But when they transmitted from India to China, it was consists of 8 schools in Chinese Buddhism, 8大宗. And this is one of the schools called Tian Tai. The founder of Tian Tai, Zhi Yi Da Shi. Here they mention the name Zhi Yi. You can go to behind and search for this founder. I think they should have a kind of a brief account about him. For ordering the Buddha Sutras, from the time of his enlightenment, the Buddha's teaching progressed through 5 periods. Because of all the different schools, they were classified the teaching into 5 periods or whatever. Different school, different classification. Chinese called 判教. What's wrong? Is it because of this? Not my problem. Okay, so 5 periods. So you just take note of that. Not only just the school of Tian Tai, even for why so busy? Look at your textbook. Look at her. You see distraction? No? You see a lot of people 八卦. Human beings are very 八卦 one. To never pay attention. You must listen attentively. I'm joking. Attentively. I didn't blame you, This is human nature. I also do that. Because we are all human beings. Joking. Okay, so from the time of his enlightenment, the Buddha teaching into this progress with 5 periods. Avatamsaka period of interpretation, for instance, of unity and multiplicity, which lasted 3 weeks and which comprised the teaching of Avatamsaka Sutra, the Agama, Orhan period of the mental analysis, Especially there's an important word in Theravada Buddhism we call Abhidhamma Kosa. Have you heard it before? Abhidhamma Kosa. So this Ji-se-lun. So this one also very important in Theravada teaching. You see, Buddhism all are related ones. So actually you have to know the history in Indian Buddhism. And you also have to know the history in Chinese Buddhism. Because this is a Mahayana Sutra, Diamond Sutra. So when we mention about this one, then you know what I'm talking. That's why I say Buddhism is not easy. Not just pray only. Right? So if you are free, you can refer to those textbook. If you want, you can go to a library here. I don't know which floor, 5th or whatever. I went there before. There are so many books. You go and look for it. History in Indian Buddhism, and the other one is history in Chinese Buddhism. And if you are free, you can read up by yourself. Yeah. Okay, so Agama period of the mental tendency which lasted 12 years, and by Puya, this is another one. You can refer to page 468. 468. Go behind. Look at by yourself. Period of the harmony and balance which lasted for 8 years. Because these are talking about the 5 periods. Different period, different time. The Prajna period of radical wisdom, which lasted 22 years, and which included this and other perfection of Wisdom Sutra, and the Sadhama period of the full lotus, which lasted 8 years and which concluded, page 43, with the Lotus and Nirvana Sutra, and so on and so forth. You're going to read that by yourself. Now here, can you see in the center, it mentioned about Asoka. This one of the king in Indian Buddhism. He have a great contribution to Indian Buddhism. He's a very important king, emperor, and because of him, he helped Buddhism to spread the Dharma in India during the Buddha time. Okay, Asoka All-in-One in China, very very famous one. You heard it before, right? All-in-One, Asoka. Yeah, I think I better don't write. Right. All right, cannot erase. Okay, very important king in ancient India. And he have a great contribution to Buddhism, in Indian Buddhism. All-in-one. Okay, Bhagavan, you see at the bottom there, page 43. We know that these are 10 titles of the Buddha. Just have already seen the PowerPoint here. So the term Bhagavan, Bojifan, which derived Bhava, and original meant like a Vava. This Vava, okay? And hence, second, 多产 in Chinese, or prosperous, So eventually was applied to one whose present bestows, prosperity. This is just like we mentioned in the PowerPoint just now. So it's usually translated as the blessed one, right? Blessed one, or world honor one, 世尊 in Chinese, right? World honor one. Okay, this is one of the 10 titles of the Buddha. Turn to page 44. Dwelling, 住在哪里? Where he stay? It was a Buddha custom to wander from town to town and forest to forest during most of the years, but to spend the summer monsoon season at one location. This during the monsoon season, he will stay put one place for the retreat for 3 months. Other than that, he go place by place. This is during the Buddha time. He don't stay put one. And you can say, if you say a lot of praise to benefit more sentient beings, some people need help. You cannot just stay put. All right? If you find very comfortable in this place, then you don't want to move around. That's a strong concept. You must go to other places. Nowadays, the monastery people like me, right? If you could, you should go to Africa, India, or those kind of third world country or whatever, to help people. You cannot stay in the comfort zone. We say comfort zone, like Singapore, good life. So a lot of people want to come to Singapore. Right? We should go to those countries they need help. Go there and help people, this and that. Right? You see, according to Master Xing Yun, now passed away at the age of 97, he believed to give rather than to accept people offering. 给好过接受. Right? So give in terms of service. Like now I give it to you, I provide my service to you. I don't know if you like my service or not. It's used a Monday word. I give you the service, right? Service of Dharma. So give me the feedback. You like it or don't like it. So I will try to improve it. So this is sort of like service. You see, church, they mention of service. Church service. It's a service. Why? Nothing wrong. It's a service. It's just a matter of 给嘛, I give you something. You give people something, you help people, you feel more achievement, Just like people went to Turkey, now came back yesterday. And because of the earthquake and the border, Turkey and Syria, right? And these are natural disasters. You cannot say, we are living in the comfort zone. Nothing happened to Singapore. Who knows? Anything can happen. Luckily, because we are located and surrounded, for instance, the North Malaysia, South is Indonesia. So we are well protected, We are very lucky, Then who knows this will last forever? No, nothing is permanent. Correct or not? You just imagine our building is not catered for earthquake one, Anyhow shaking will just collapse, So which floor if I prefer to stay, second or third floor better, If anything, I think to me, I choose second or third floor. But if anything earthquake, you jump now, the most injured the leg only, But stay on top, but it's nothing for you to escape, But of course, very fast. You need Aumi Tofo, soon, you can just jump over. No, I'm joking. It's true. You see, the Marine Parade is a reclaimed land, right? Actually, for me, it was sea, right? That's why you see MRT cannot go there, because it's not solid, But now they're under investigation, everything, make sure the soil, everything is quite solid, okay already. So in future, got MRT station at Marine Parade, Do you know that? So you travel first, then you let me know later. Must be somebody travel first. Make sure you save everything, So don't forget, before you travel, Aami Tofo. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't go and complain to government. You'll get arrested. Then next 2 weeks, no more teacher already. Now, so this dwelling is most to spend the summer season. So one such place was the retreat built for the Buddha and his order outside Stravasti. Stravasti, just like we mentioned already, right? Stravasti, this place. This was the capital of the ancient kingdom of Kushara. So where is the place Kushara? Can you see the page 451? If you want, go and see yourself. And in his Maha Prashna Paramita Sutra, 大智度论 in Chinese. This is at the page of 453. This one very important sutra. Sastra, can you take the page 453? Okay? The count from the bottom, the second term, Maha Prashna Paramita Sastra. Do you know what is Sastra? Sastra is the piece of word explain the sutra, the meaning of the sutra. And Sastra is not spoken by the Buddha. It's by those eminent monks or philosophers. Because they translate from the sutra, right, the meaning of the sutra. And this is called Sastra. Chinese called Lun. Lun. Right? 3 baskets in the canon or in Chinese canon, 经历论. Sutra, Vinaya, treatise, Sastra. Okay? And this is not spoken by the Buddha. This was written by the scholar, philosopher, or Buddha disciple. But of course, these two, Sutra, scripture, and Vinaya, precepts, this was spoken by the Buddha. Okay? But they are not in this sequence, not started from the Sutra first. Sutra is actually at the second stage. Initial one, the first period, the first stage is started from Vinaya first. Because they have a great assembly, then to discuss about Buddha, talk about the precepts, rules, and regulation. So they started from this one, then followed by Buddha's teaching. Scripture, then at the end is a Sastra. We call it treatise in English. Treatise. Okay. So this is actually the explanation from the Maha Prashna Paramita Sutra, from this sutra. This is called Sastra. Can you see the Chinese word 大智度论? Written by the Nagarjuna. You know Nagarjuna? 龙树菩萨. Is in the West, they call it second Buddha. All right? It's a very important figure in Mahayana Buddhism. Nagarjuna. His main focus, main teaching on emptiness, sunya, all right, emptiness. Very profound teaching in Buddhism. So written by Nagarjuna on the perfection of wisdom in 25,000 lines. So this one, the behind they have, you go and look at the behind, they got 5,000 lines, 6,000 lines, and so on and so forth. Now, so it is the ultimate commentary on the teaching of the perfection of wisdom. It was translated into the Chinese by Kumarajiva, Jiu and this is yet a very important figure in Chinese Mahayana Buddhism. Okay, Kumarajiva. He was a founder in Chinese tradition. So if you see the flow chart here, started, if we talk about the wisdom, the emptiness, they started from this gentleman, very important, Nagarjuna, Longsu Pusa. Okay, of course followed by Aradeva, his disciple, then Pingala, and so on and so forth. Then come to here, Pingala, they branch out into two traditions. Here is called Tibetan tradition. Right? Tibetan tradition, they branch out into, subdivided into two. So one is called Prasangika, Chanchakirti, and Vaivaseka. Okay, these two. This is in Tibetan tradition. This is Chinese tradition, Tibetan. Then started from Kumarajiva, Jiu. So he was a founder of Chinese Buddhism in terms of wisdom, talking about wisdom, right? This according to the lineage here. Okay, so this is called Kumarajiva, another important figure in Chinese Buddhism. So here they say Kumarajiva. Okay, in 402 to 405, under the title of 大智度论, I told you already, 大智度论. Okay, and into French by this Lamotte. Lamotte already passed away, right? Is a French scholar, Buddhist scholar, right? The 001, but already passed away. Okay, clear? Can you turn to the next? Go back to the page again. Wow, time's out already. Okay. And the place, okay. Then this Rajaha, you want to know this place, then you turn to page 459. Nagarjuna, you turn to page 455. I told you already. Just now the sutra is 453. You just write down first, go back. So you save your time to go and flip to the behind one. And Magadha, right? Page 453. You can turn to page 453. Okay. So today we stop here. Okay? So go back, do your some homework. If anything you are not sure, not very clear, then you can come back to ask me. Okay, before we go for lunch, as usual, shall we do the dedication, transferring of merit, Hui Xiang? You see the PowerPoint there, if you don't know how to remember? Please hold the palm and follow me. May all the merits thus accumulated be dedicated to all sentient beings. May all sentient beings and I together attain Buddhahood. Okay, forgot to tell you, our next lesson, 5th of March, as usual, 1st and 3rd week. Okay, please stand up. Okay, please hold the palm. One bow to the Buddha. Okay, see you all. Enjoy your lunch. Okay, enjoy your lunch. See you all.